far as fishing in South Africa in general, obviously it's a small niche sport. It's big participation. There's a lot of people that fish. Not as many fish competitively. It can be a bit of an elitist sport because of the expenses involved, especially in the competitive area of bass fishing, because most bass fishingers get around boats at the higher levels. Even at the more beginner levels, guys still have to outlay money for expensive equipment and stuff generally. And as far as juniors go and youngsters fishing, there's not those opportunities to get them out there, because either their parents have to fish and have the resources, otherwise they're not going to get it's very unlikely that they get the opportunity. Like some clubs in that have a few junior things that they try and do, but again, it's something that's expensive, it's time consuming, and you can't it's just not available to the general public. In the States particularly, obviously the fishing scene and the bass fishing scene is huge there. A lot of money, a lot of sponsors, and a lot of opportunities for people to fish in general, just in terms of access to public waters, and just amazing. I mean, America's an incredible place and they do a lot for all of their sports, and fishing's no exception. There's amazing organizations, and what these organizations have done in the last few years is they've really got onto this fact that you need to bring guys up from all the way down at the junior level through high school and into college, but it can't be just like I say, a one-day club event that oh, welcome and invite a kid fishing type thing. It needs to be organized. These kids can go now. There are kids getting full scholarships into fishing teams in universities in the States. There's guys, high school students from all over the country, hundreds of high schools coming together to fish massive championships that lead to much bigger things. You've got big college sponsorships, organizations that are doing amazing work in the States supporting these college fishing tournaments, and there's several. You see some of these guys coming from the college scene and they're hitting now the professional levels, and these guys are amazing. They are so much more clued up than the people coming through the whole fishing ranks in previous times. It's just like accelerated. The guys are so sharp. I'm super intimidated I want to fish some more in the States. It's definitely another part of my whole dream with this fishing and what I want to do with it. But I'll tell you what, to compete with some of those kids that are 10 years younger than me, I can have 10 years experience on them. They are so sharp just because of that opportunity that's been given to them. And I can see taking some kids from some high school kids, like we're going to obviously have the initiatives to get some junior kids fishing. It's very difficult because of the kind of facilities and stuff we've got here. It's going to have to be a private facility. It's going to come with some cost to us, and it's going to be quite a mission to organise to get a bunch of kids out fishing. So we're going to invite them with their parents, get their parents out there with them, because that way, if we can teach the kids to fish with the parents there, hopefully those parents are then going to take them fishing more regularly, or at least know how to sit on a bank and catch some. I mean, we're not going to go and do serious bass fishing or anything, but we'll take them with some live bait, put them at a venue where they can pretty much be guaranteed. We want to see them, they need to catch fish. Once I've got my nephews, my niece and nephew, and my other two little nephews that I still remember them catching their first fish and absolutely freaking out. And it was like a long time. They were in Cape Town at the time and couldn't get out there, and their parents tried to take them fishing and kind of just didn't work out. I eventually took them off to a little pier at Simonstown, and I'm pretty sure the whole of Cape Town knew those kids caught a fish that day, because the way little Benai ran and freaked out when he caught his first fish. It's so exciting to see, and that's what I want to see from more people. Like, I'm able to do it for family and friends, and even then it's difficult. So I want to be able to take it. Food Dog Fishing is about my fishing and about helping people with their fishing, but the biggest part of it has to be this junior fishing. It has to be that giving back and getting. I want these kids to have the same experiences. I want more people to be able to have the experiences that I was very lucky to be able to have myself. So, I mean, I grew up, born in South Africa and then went to Zim, and in Zim we obviously fished a lot. It was like in South Africa, we got a good outdoor kind of vibe, and that's what people did. And obviously my dad took me to spend time on Kariba. You'll see on the website some cool pictures of when I was a kid there, really young and getting introduced and super excited. I mean, you can see that look on my face, and I think it's the same look I see on most kids when they're fishing or catch a fish and that. So yeah, so started there, then we moved back to South Africa and we lived at the beach and like right by the water, and I just wanted to fish all the time, and my mom would take me down and we'd go to the beach and she'd like rig a little piece of prawn on a small hook and chuck it out for me, or I slowly learned to cast. Obviously, I'm talking 5 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, standing there on the beach, so excited, just waiting for those little blacktail to bite. Any of you guys who have caught a blacktail, you'll know that distinct, like the rod just, you'll know it if you do it, and I encourage take kids to have that experience because it's so cool. Little bait, and I used to catch a little blacktail, bring a couple home, sometimes for the cat to eat, and I was so proud of that. And Mom was, the patience my mom had to have, she had to get her hands dirty, she had to sit there for, I mean, it must have been hours and hours that we used to go. I remember, in fact, being in almost tears when she wouldn't take me if there were white horses, which is the little white waves when it's windy on the sea, and she wouldn't take typically wouldn't take me, and I used to stare at the sea waiting for it to calm, and no Mom, there's no white horses, and then one or two would come blowing through as another gust came through. So yeah, I had to learn that you can't always go fishing, which is probably a good thing now, seeing as I've had to study and run a business and work and all that. So probably a good thing to learn as a kid as well. So we don't only, as we teaching these kids to fish and stuff, we also want conscientious kids. We want kids that appreciate that this is a value add to their lives. Everything they do is very important as far as school and work and being conscientious, and when they get out, that's the cherry on top of the cake of life, those experiences. So yeah, a bit of a sidetrack there, but so it took my mom a lot. She had to take me fishing. My dad would also take me saltwater fishing a lot, go out with them, and it's great times with your parents as well. I mean, those memories will be with me forever. Great times with my mom. I still know the exact spot she used to sit on the beach and watch me, and the little spot by Winkle Rocks in the Manton-Toti in Durban, and there's like a little gap between the main tidal pool area, another little set of rocks, and you could always typically always catch some fish there, and Mom would sit on the beach, and it was just beautiful. And then going out at night with my dad, he'd obviously work, and then in those days you could fish really comfortably at night. And yeah, there's a cool picture on the website as well of me with a big kabuyo. That was caught with my dad one night. Also in KZN off the beach, I was fishing with a tiny little hook. He had rigged me up to try and catch like a stumpnose or big blacktail or something, and he couldn't believe when I hauled out this huge fish. I was exhausted. I think I was 6 or 7 at the time. I mean, I was a little kid. So those times, those experiences with parents and stuff are so important, and that's again where I was so fortunate. It's like it's not like we're lucky. I was blessed to have those opportunities, and that only came through other people. And in that case, my parents. So where children and youngsters don't have that, maybe their parents don't have just the inclination. They didn't grow up. I was fortunate my parents grew up in that with that outdoor lifestyle and stuff. And so if there are other youngsters who don't get that opportunity, they're going to miss out on something that could change their life, which I genuinely believe fishing's changed my life.